Hello there, good morning. This is GHOne News and I am Araba Aidoo. Let's look at stories making headlines this morning. President Mahama lauds size of his lean government, touting it as most efficient in the Fourth Republic. Details from his first 120-day address. And Cabinet approves key amendments to labor and investment laws to boost social protection and set stage for 24-hour economy. We have details of these and other stories coming up. Please stay. Thanks for staying. I am Araba Aidoo, and remember this bulletin is streaming live on X and on Facebook at GHOne TV. We begin the bulletin from the presidency as President John Dramani Mahama says his administration is the most efficient and the leanest in Ghana's Fourth Republic, boasting of a record number of 56 ministerial appointments. In a national address on May 7 to mark his first 120 days in office, President Mahama said he had fulfilled his promise to form a lean government within 90 days of assuming office. Now, among the accomplishments, the president noted that his ministerial appointments were completed within 14 days and the team has since begun active service.
We promise to form a lean and efficient government. I promise to nominate the complete list of cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval within the first 14 days and to constitute the leanest and most efficient government under the Fourth Republic within the first 90 days. As promised, I announced the complete list of my cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval within the first 14 days of being sworn in. They were all successfully vetted and approved, and they have hit the ground running. Indeed, I have so far appointed only 56 ministers and deputies so far, the smallest number of ministers and deputies appointed by any president in the Fourth Republic. We've also nominated our metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives, and they are going through the various phases of confirmation to complete the formation of our governance team at the local level. Establishing a robust code of conduct. I have committed to establishing a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials to instill integrity and accountability from day one. Building on my previous efforts, we have reworked and finalized a significantly improved version of the code of conduct for government appointees.
Still on his 120 days, President Mahama said Cabinet has approved crucial amendments to both the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act and the Labour Act. This is aimed at enhancing social protection and creates an enabling environment for the 24-hour economy policy, which is to promote conducive business and labor relations. He addressed this in his evaluation of the first 120 days of governance.
Our signature policies for job creation and economic transformation is the 24-hour economy policy. We promise to commence drafting the needed legal amendments and prepare for its implementation within the first 120 days. The program is designed to drive structural transformation across our economy, built on pillars aimed at revamping key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and tourism. The program rollout has commenced in earnest. The 24-hour Secretariat is collaborating with the Development Bank of Ghana and the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund to operationalize financing pillars for this program. Cabinet has approved amendments to the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act and the Labour Act to include specific clauses regarding 24-hour operations.
Now, President John Dramani Mahama also revealed that over 150,000 first-year students in public tertiary institutions will have their academic fees completely covered by the state under the government's bold no academic fee policy. Now, the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions was also a key promise to ease the burden on families and expand access to higher education. President Mahama, in his first 120 days address, noted his government has taken concrete steps to implement. He disclosed that over 450 million cedis has been allocated to cover the academic fees of all first-year students.
The no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions was a key promise to ease burden on families and expand access to higher education. My government has taken concrete steps to implement this. 452,940,012 Ghana cedis has been allocated for the payment of academic facility user fees for 156,294 first-year students in public tertiary institutions for the 2025 academic year. GHOne has also been instructed to pay the fees directly to the tertiary institutions, ensuring timely disbursement. The No Fee Stress application portal has been developed and is now live for first-year students to register and authenticate their eligibility for this government funding.
Now, still on that, governance expert Professor Aidoo has called the Mahama-led administration's first 120-day as very efficient, referencing some of its initiatives. The governance expert noted President Mahama has established an authority within his cabinet, which is laudable and good for Ghana's development.
So many things stand out. It's not a single thing I can put my thumb on. You know, when you think of the way he was able to put the cabinet together within 14 days and send it to Parliament, and Parliament approved them and all that, and they started work seriously from the word go. And that we know is the leanest, the smallest government that we have had under any of the democracies, not only Fourth Republic alone, all the democracies we've had. You know, military rule, at times the numbers are down. But so far as democracies are concerned, second, third, and fourth, I think is the smallest that we have seen. And very efficient, because each person seems to be working very well. And yes, the president has set a tone for the cabinet. He has established a code of conduct and standards, which he is following. And yet, he expects all the ministers to follow. And I think that's going well.
Let's now shift our attention to other stories, as the Ghana Police Service has confirmed that Minority Leader Alexander Afenyomarkin has presented himself to assist with investigations into a reported assault involving a police officer during the Save the Judiciary demonstration held on Monday, May 5, 2025. Now, according to a statement from the police, the Criminal Investigations Department is probing an allegation that Honorable Afenyomarkin assaulted a uniformed police officer at the entrance of Parliament House. The investigation was initiated following a formal request from the CID to the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Gbagwin, who subsequently directed the Efutu MP to cooperate with the authorities. In compliance with the directive, Honorable Afeyomakin reported to the police on Wednesday, May 7, 2025, to assist with the ongoing inquiry. However, in a twist to the case, the police service also revealed that it has begun investigation into a counter petition submitted by Afeyomakin himself, alleging that he was the victim of assault by the same officer involved in the original complaint. The incident reportedly took place as Afeyomakin led a group of demonstrators to present a petition at Parliament House calling for greater judicial independence. Now, according to his account, as he approached a police barricade, a uniformed officer identified as Constable Forsen struck him forcefully on the left side of his chest, leaving him dazed and short of breath. He was reportedly assisted by parliamentary security personnel and fellow demonstrators and taken to a nearby rest area to recover before continuing with the petition presentation. The officer involved allegedly fled the scene shortly after the incident, raising concerns about a possible attempt to evade accountability. In health, the Mental Health Authority is urging lactating women to prioritize their mental well-being as part of efforts to raise awareness and reduce stigma around mental health issues. The call came during a mental health awareness walk in Accra, where Deputy Head of Communications, Dr. Josephine Stills Dako, also encouraged Ghanaians to speak up and support those facing psychological challenges. Ghana is all set to roll out 2 new vaccines this September to help tackle hepatitis B, cervical cancer, and chronic liver disease. The rollout of the hepatitis B birth dose and the HPV vaccine follows an approval by the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization after Ghana's application. The vaccines, which are expected to arrive in the country in due time, is to curb mother-to-child and early childhood transmission of the virus. For her 5 days visit to Ghana, the Chief Executive Officer of the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, GHOne, Dr. Sanya Nishtar, first received state officials before embarking on a field visit to some health facilities in the central region. Her first port of call for the field visit was at the St. Gregory Catholic Hospital in the Gomoa East District of the Central Region. There, she interacted with staff of the facility and checked the immunization records and inspected how the various stages in immunization are conducted before heading to the pediatric ward. Dr. Sanya Nishtar also engaged with mothers who had brought their children for weighing and educated them on the importance of vaccinating their wards, especially against malaria.
After that, we will observe how the process goes.
I was really delighted to see the operations here. I had the opportunity to meet children and mothers and the staff of the primary healthcare facility, the nurses in the hospital, the children who were admitted. I had the privilege of witnessing the vaccinations in progress, a health promotion session underway, and I spoke to many mothers who were aware about the importance of vaccination, who had very keenly were visiting health facilities, were looking forward to vaccinating their babies against malaria. The malaria vaccine is very popular here. The health services have done remarkably well. They've in fact Goma East has set a new standard for the world because they have reached 80% coverage for the 3 doses of the 4-dose malaria vaccination schedule. This is truly remarkable. And the awareness amongst the communities, the demand for the vaccine. And what was most important was visiting the hospital. I visited the pediatric unit where there were empty beds and there were no malaria cases admitted. So this shows that the vaccine is working and it's really bringing in a transformation. And we really want to thank the leadership of the government of Ghana for making this happen.
Thank you so much. Her next port of call was at the Inyanyano Health Center to also check the immunization records and how children are being taken through the process. She was accompanied by officials from the World Health Organization, PATH, UNICEF, Ministry of Health, and the Ghana Health Service. Country representative for World Health Organization in Ghana is Dr. Frank Lully, who stressed on the need to vaccinate children to prevent avoidable deaths. Dr. Sanya Nistam later called on the Minister of Health, Kwabena Mensah Kando, who outlined measures put in place to roll out the hepatitis B birth dose and the HPV vaccine by September this year to help tackle hepatitis B, cervical cancer, and chronic liver disease.
Vaccines traditionally are known to be one of the best ways of controlling diseases and avoiding the spread of diseases. They've been known traditionally to be the best way for our children to survive. And as I usually say, that we are committed that any child in Ghana and every child in Ghana should have that opportunity to get a vaccine, should have that opportunity to survive to adulthood.
We are particularly excited to introduce 2 new vaccines later this year, the hepatitis B birth dose and the HPV vaccine. These will help us tackle cervical cancer and chronic liver disease. And we are grateful to Gavi for your technical and financial support in making them possible. Ghana is also leading in innovation. We are using digital tools like SimPrint for biometric tracking and digital microplanning to reach those hardest to reach. These innovations are making a real difference and they are models for others to follow. Still, we acknowledge that equity gaps persist.
In Ghana, approximately 2.8 million people are living with hepatitis B virus, while approximately